Good morning, everyone. In today's presentation, I am going to be talking about who you should allow to counsel you, to advise you, especially in your vulnerable state. I don't know how you're going to be able to do this because in your vulnerable state, you're already down. But you have to brace yourself up somehow because whether you ask for advice and counsel, some people just come around and place it upon themselves to counsel you, to advise you. Well, there's maybe nothing wrong in being advised or counseled, whether you asked for it or not. I ask that you please sift every advice, every counsel, so that you do not adopt the ones that will do your life a great disservice and leave you worse off. My name is Christy. I welcome you to my channel. Yes, to make my point clearer, I like to paint a scenario. And like I always say upfront, if this scenario has any semblance with what you're going through, please, it's just mere coincidence. It's not targeted at anyone or at any event. It is just to make my point clear. So let's go into it. I'm going to be talking about a lady and a friend, her friend. The lady, her name is Tupe. She just got a call that her mom just passed on. Of course, Tupe, well advanced in age, and her mom that passed on, well advanced in age, a great grandmother. But whether we like it or not, we really don't want anybody to pass on, even at over 100, especially if they were loving persons. You don't want them to leave, you don't want them to go. So Dupe was in her very low stage. She was kind of vulnerable, mourning her mom. She just received that call. So she wanted to just share it with somebody. Joy was readily available. So she shared a bit of her life with Joy. Her main concern was how to bring the family together to give the mother a befitting burial. Because after the demise of their father, Dupe's father, the family grew apart. There were about maybe 4 siblings or so. They just grew apart for whatever reason. I don't know. They hardly visited, they hardly called one another. Just grew apart. So she was not thinking how they could come together to have a befitting burial for their mother. That was her main concern. So, like I said, she shared with Joy, who was readily available at that point in time. Joy just sprang up. She was over dramatic. How could you? Why would you allow? You should give it everything that it would take to make sure that the family comes back together. What kind of family is this? The way I was brought up in my own family, the way I was brought up. Joy went on and on and on. At that point, Dupe was shocked, astonished. Why would she be over dramatic? What was the reason for that unwarranted outburst? Joy could not even let it. She just was going on and on and on. Tupa didn't want this to degenerate into a fight or into a brawl. She tactfully ended the conversation and in her mind knew that she went into an error by talking to Joy about her situation. And she made up her mind that it was not going to happen again. Few days after, Dupe saw Joy. Before she could go another way, Joy cornered her and started with the tongue lashing again. You mean you have not done anything about bringing? I said everything that you would take, everything that you do cost. At that point, Dupe would not let it slide. She shut her down and warned her seriously to stop mounting pressure on her. That she realized immediately on that day that she had gone into an error by exposing a bit of her life to her. That was because of her vulnerable state, and she would not let her Joy. Dupe said she would not let Joy walk over her because she had told her one or two things about her life. Before Joy could continue, because she was slow to understand that at this point Dupe was not going to take it in anymore. She was still going to go ahead. At that point, Dupe now told her to her face that look, but whichever way you were brought up, because you kept repeating the way I was, how were you brought up? If you must know, whichever way you were brought up can never be a benchmark to measure how proper, decent, appropriate upbringing should be. Therefore, keep quiet. And I take back everything I told you about myself and my family. And I want you to delete same from your memory. Pretend that I never discussed with you. If your motive by this being over dramatic was right or had genuine and good intentions, your presentation, the way you have brought it across, definitely is cruel and awkward. Therefore, just stay off my matter and don't ever bring this up again. So, like I said earlier, you may not have asked for somebody's advice or somebody's counsel, but some place it upon themselves to go ahead and advise you and counsel you. There's nothing wrong in being counseled or advised, whether you have asked for it or not. But remember to be open minded. Open up your mind, don't close it, so that you'll be able to take in the good ones and discard the foul and the bad ones. Ensure to sift every advice, every counsel. Take it, adopt the ones that will do you good, that will add value to your life, and discard those ones that will do disservice to you. And when you are feeling pressured, when there's a heaviness on your head while somebody is counseling or advising you, please do well to excuse yourself from that exercise. Please, it's important. Counseling advice should not add value to your chest. Should not add heaviness and burden to your chest. It should actually add value to your life. So when you are being burdened because somebody is advising or counseling you, the person may be doing it with toxicity and negativity, which you don't want. You don't even need, in fact, you don't have to entertain this kind of counseling and advice. This is important. Don't let them work on your mind and put heaviness and put burden there. Supposed to lighten your burden, supposed to lighten your fears, not make it heavier. So it's important to please Be conscious and be sensitive while you are being advised or while you are being counseled, whether you've asked for it or not. I'm going to be coming out maybe tomorrow morning to talk about what we have been able to learn from these characters and counseling, the way they go about it generally, because it's important. I don't want to rush it. I want us to look at these characters, Dupe, Joy, and counselors, advisors, whether they bestow it upon themselves or they're professional or they, we have so many counselors, advisors around these days, whether trained, certified or not. They just place it upon themselves to counsel and to advise. We're going to be talking about that. The reason I want to do it separately is because I want us to soak it in. I want us to soak it in very well. So that's why I'm going to do that tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we'll be concluding on this presentation by looking at the characters and the milieu and the solicited for counselors, advisors, and the unsolicited for counselors and advisors. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you very soon. But before I go, please subscribe to my channel, like, share my videos. Thank you very much. Bye.